Today, Monday, March 30th, 2026. Today's EON rant is brought to you by the world about nothing's good enough. Meaning, so what I'm about to say is this, is I was speaking to someone a couple years ago after the Ukraine-Russia war broke out. And I heard things about Ukraine. And obviously, there are people who know much more about Ukraine than me. And I was saying stuff. I'm not going to say the details of what I said, that I heard this about Ukraine. And the guy says to me, have you been to Ukraine? I said, no. Did you study Ukraine? I said, yeah, I'll be honest, now I have. Because I started studying them when the war broke out. And obviously, you could always nitpick everything. What Russia did is absolutely reprehensible of invading, and it was pretty ridiculous. And they've been animals ever since, and they're pretty much foolish. They haven't really, yes, they've taken some land, but they have not looked good at that war at all. They've lost more soldiers than the other side. I think most sources say that's true, including their own side. Their own side obviously says they're doing good and they're advancing. But besides the point, the guy says to me, you can't talk about it because you've never been there. Now, I'll say this. I was talking about it because it was the news at the time and it was the main topic, and it was a interesting topic, especially at that time. Everybody was talking about it. So I could talk about anything to me at the dinner table. And I have a disclaimer, and it's called my logo. If you watch this channel, it's called EON. It's called the logo on this channel. It's basically saying, like, whatever you hear from me is an opinion. I do some research. I'm not going to say I do a ton. I'm not going to say I do research day and night for anything. But I do research on stuff. I do. Do I do enough? No, nobody I think ever does enough. But Patrick Beverley, the other day, all these basketball players say, you never played basketball, so you can't talk about the game. And then a lot of them, when they go to media, they change their tune, because they change their tune a little bit because of the simple fact that they need a job, or they want a job. I don't know if they need, depends on who it is. Patrick Beverley says the other day, James Harden or Dwayne Wade. And he says it definitely James Harden. Now, I watched both of them play. I would say there's not a definite. If people want to say James Harden's better, that's fine. If people want to say Dwayne Wade's better, that's fine. And people who say, this crazy ambulance here, the weather's getting better. The people who say that Dwayne Wade's better, which I might give a slight edge to Dwayne Wade. It's not crazy at all. And it's not crazy to say either side. But you say you like the other guy better, fine. And then Dwayne Wade answers back, goes, you can't talk about it because you're not top 75. I'm top 75 with those guys. So it goes on the other level of, like, you didn't do this, so therefore you can't talk about it too. You're not on my level. You can't talk about it. We can't talk about any topic whatsoever in the history of the world, basically, because Dwayne Wade is not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the only guy that can talk basketball, like LeBron and Mike, Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson. That's the only guys that could ever talk about basketball? What are we doing now? And Patrick Beverley, the thing about I always told people is that another thing he did is be reasonable. And then he says, I was 7-3 versus you, Dwayne Wade. Yeah, you were 7-3 versus Dwayne Wade when you were not even the first, second, third, fourth. No one even cared you were on the court. Besides maybe trying to get past you on defense, which, by the way, by the time you played Dwayne Wade, I'm trying to think. Rockets, that was Miami. You did play him in the Miami 2014. By the way, I think you were 1-1 that year against him. And by that time, you were 7-3. You played 5 years. You didn't play against that Dwayne Wade, and James Harden was the main player in your team, and you played against him when... Did you play against him when you were on the Clippers? Or Dwayne Wade already left the game by then? You played against the Cleveland Dwayne Wade? The last year Miami, Chicago Dwayne Wade? What are you talking about? And no one even has a thought in your head that you're that good. So I want to say this one time only. Like, you could talk about whatever you want. You could have your opinion whatever you want, and just have your opinion. That's it. I don't care what you did or what you didn't do. And just because you played the game doesn't mean you know more, because the way he's talking about Damian Lillard not being a Hall of Famer, that means you don't know more. So have a good day. See you guys soon. Talk later. And you don't know what a Hall of Famer is in basketball, and you say he's not going to make it. He has to make it. Have a good day.